A superhero can generally be defined as a fictional hero having extraordinary powers and be an exceptionally skillful or successful person. Lakeland, Florida is home to such a hero, and many residents and their children have met Omegaman and hearing his anti-bullying character development message. His story is coming up on Polk Place. I'm Bill Skelton, and welcome to Polk Place. Today our guest is Mark Wilkes, also known as Omegaman. Mark, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Mark, could you tell us a little history about yourself and your friends?
Well, in 2008, after seeing the rise of bullying and really kids being disrespectful across the nation and headline news, and you're seeing all these stories across the country, I created a one-of-a-kind superhero school assembly right here in Lakeland, Florida. And I went to a couple principals and told them the idea, and they said, we'd love to have you. Did a couple assemblies, and it just spread like wildfire throughout Florida. And now, almost 8 years later, over 5,000 schools later, 5 superhero guys, we are now one of the top anti-bully presentations in the nation.
How about a little personal history with respect to how you became Omegaman?
Well, it's funny, when in middle schools, high schools, I share my testimony a little bit of, because when I was a kid, I was bullied. I had a speech impediment. I stuttered around 12, 13 years old. I had suicidal thoughts, didn't want to go to school, grades dropped, exclusion from kids, friends. But then I went to speech therapy. I just had the light bulb came on, and I thought to myself, why am I letting those dream breakers, those bullies, stop me from reaching my dreams? So around early teens, I went to a speech therapist and started going through classes, many years of trying to overcome this speech impediment. And I still tell the middle schools, high school, even the elementary students, do I still stutter? Yes, I do. But you know what? Never let your weaknesses overcome your strength in life.
So there was that personal psychological transformation as well as the physical transformation.
Yes. And early 90, I would say 97, 98, a motivational speaker came across my path, and he needed someone to help him behind the scenes, a road manager. And so I was helping him, and he threw me the mic. He said, I want you to speak for about 30 seconds. I'm like, no way, I stutter. I cannot talk in front of people. I was just a fear of speaking. And eventually I just overcame that. Went to 5 minutes, and eventually 10 minutes, and eventually now I'm a motivational speaker, yes.
So you used your personal experience,
yes.
Okay. You use your physical transformation,
yes.
And you give these messages to kids who might have similar issues that you had when they were your age, or rather when you were their age.
Yeah, yes, I talk about the reason why I started working out too at early age was because I was bullied. 11, 12 years old, when I was bullied, I asked my dad, I need a weight set. I started working out. It was a way of how I dealt with being picked on, being bullied, and it built my self-esteem. But yes, I do share my testimony in the schools that I let the kids know no matter what you're facing, maybe physically someone's making fun of you, teasing you, disrespecting you, maybe cyber, the emotional, always believe in yourself. Never let those words, actions stop you from reaching your dreams, your goals in life.
And how long have you been doing this?
Omegaman since 2008.
2008.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Now it's Omegaman and Friends.
It's Omegaman and Friends now because the demand is so high now. Just this year alone, at the end of this year, we perform almost 1,000 schools, So I can't do it myself anymore. So I have 4 other superhero guys. I have 2 former NFL football players who play for the Green Bay Packers, San Diego Chargers. One's tackle man, one's dynamo. So they kind of use their NFL experience too, but also we challenge the kids to be a hero, H-E-R-O, helping everyone respect others. We all have a hero, but it's up to us to pull that hero out of us and be a hero.
Helping everyone respect others?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, the age groups generally that you guys interact with?
Omegaman's big in the elementary schools. Now, when we do the middle school, high schools, it's totally just, we go in as motivational speakers, world-class athletes. Nothing as Omegaman.
Right. And of course, you know, bullying is a hot button issue these days. There's a lot of sensitivity to it, particularly here in Polk County.
Yes.
You know, Sheriff Grady Judd, and there's been some issues related to bullying in middle school and high school. So it's certainly on the minds of a lot of people. Now, I understand that, you know, character development is part of it. You know, giving kids the confidence to be able to handle bullying. Specifically, what are some of the messages that you impart with regard to bullying and making kids you know, recognize the issues and what they can do to overcome the issues?
Well, here, when I started Omegaman in 2008, here in Florida, it's called the Jeffrey Johnson Act. It's these words: identify, respond, prevent, and what a bystander is. So I took those words and I said, you know, I'm going to take those words and use it and expand on it and use these in the schools. So when I go into these schools, I have these kids hold these cards. One's identify. Okay, let's identify what is a bully. It's repeated offense over and over again. It's from the physical, the verbal, the cyber, the emotional. Comes in different shapes and forms. We talk about that, identify. Then we go talk about, okay, how to respond to it. If someone is making fun of you through cyber, through emotional, through the physical, through the verbal, how are you going to respond? You walk away, you know, you ignore it, address it, trust an adult, guidance counselor. Also how to prevent it, and also we really push on the whole bystander, be an upstander, because teachers, us parents, we can't be around the kids 24/7, but there's always their friends who are with them, they see it. So we challenge the students to be a hero, be an upstander, report it, help that individual, because studies have shown when a bystander sees bullying happen, they can stop bullying within 10 seconds by being an upstander, speaking up, and helping that victim.
So even kids who haven't experienced bullying, maybe they can help kids who have been.
Exactly, and that's our whole theme is, let's be a hero, helping everyone. When you see a friend, even if maybe you're in 5th grade and she's in 7th grade, or you're in high school and you know he's in middle school, and you see someone being picked on, bullied on the bus, cyber, Facebook, social media, hey, let's help that individual, don't ignore it. Let's stand up and speak up.
Do you address the bullies in the audience?
Oh yes, yes. There's times schools will pull me to the side before the assembly and say, hey, listen, we have a problem with this kid, that individual, that student. Can you kind of use that? So I'll sometimes use that student. And I don't pick up, I don't point on, you know, I use them as an illustration in a fun way, but not, hey, he's the bully. But I do a lot of illustrations, like checking some of the things I do. Because one illustration I do is I grab a student and I give him a tube of toothpaste and a plate, and he squeezes all the toothpaste out of the plate, onto the plate, and then I challenge the student, him or her, to put that toothpaste back in that toothpaste in the tube. Well, you can't do it because it's already out of the tube. My point is this: once you speak it, once you post it, once you text it, you can't take it back. So always think before you post, text. There's consequences to your choices.
Well, it's fantastic that your message extends to everybody in your audience, just not the kids that are bullied.
Yes.
Because you know there are two sides apparently.
There is.
So, why the word omega?
Omega in the Greek alphabet means end. It means final, and I'm bringing a final message that could change your life if you apply that message to your life. And I talk about the two roads of life. There is the dream maker road or the dream breaker road, and the choices we make today determine what path we're living on.
A lot of people know you as Mark Wilkes. A lot of people know you as Omegaman. So what's the backstory for Omegaman?
Well, in my whole comic book world, we have a comic book being made right now. Omegaman is, you know, Superman was Clark Kent.
Right.
Well, Omegaman is a guidance counselor in a school. So he goes in as guidance counselor Mr. Wilkes, and that's how he knows what's going on in the schools. He has the pulse of the problems, issues going on with this young generation. So that's that disguise of Omegaman.
Are you from a distant planet?
From the planet Jurius, yes. From the
planet Jurius.
Yes, from planet Jurius, and he is sent to planet Earth to stop Deceptor, which is he's the leader. He's the leader of all the dream breakers out there. He's trying to stop and influence our young people from making the right choices in life.
So he's the bad guy in the
He's the bad guy. He's the villain. Yeah, he's my villain. Yes.
And is he from the same planet?
No, he's from another planet. And but then we are now our second comic book. We are creating a second bad guy that will address the whole obesity issue with kids and so forth.
Wow, so you're touching obesity as well.
Yes.
Now with regard to your presentations, you know, obviously you're in great shape. You know, you give the motivational approach and you kind of give those lessons. Is there anything with regard to your physical health and well-being that may help with regard to motivating these kids that are experiencing bullying?
Well, I talk about in the middle schools, high schools, the whole superhero, strength, muscles are always, a lot of times goes along with superheroes. But I share my experience why I started working out. It just built that strength and that confidence in me. But I don't say, hey, you have to have muscles to be a hero in life.
Right.
You are a hero no matter where you are in life, because we all come in different shapes and sizes, tall, small, wide, thin. But you know what? Never disrespect someone because we're not in that if crowd.
So it's more of an inner thing.
Yes.
But for you, you manifested it into your personal appearance and your alter ego as Omegaman.
Yes, that's true. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Now, is this program just in Florida, the Southeast? Is it nationwide?
No, we are nationwide. We go to. I just got back from New York City. We're big in New York. We're big in New Jersey. All around the country. And I'm home this week doing Polk County schools, and then I'm heading out to California next week.
California. And how many events would you do in a year, in a given year?
This year alone, my team and I, we would be total of almost 1,000 schools this year alone. In the last 8 years, we've done over 5,000 schools in the last 8 years.
Now, it is Omegaman and Friends.
Omegaman and Friends.
Do you guys do appearances together?
Sometimes we do. If in big arenas, big events, we do, but it's usually a one-man show. When I go out, I'm usually performing between 12 to 15 assemblies in 1 week. Yes.
Wow, so there's more than one event in a day.
Yes, we'll do a school. Our schedule is pretty packed when we go into a state or an area community. Usually a school in the morning, then a school in the afternoon. Sometimes there's 2, 3 assemblies at one school, and usually a school loves a night program too. So sometimes we're doing family events at night.
So you're really keeping busy as a Omegaman.
Very busy, yes, very busy.
No time to go back to Planet Jurius.
No, not at all. One day.
All your work is here.
Yes.
Now, I know you also touch on other issues besides bullying, drug use, smoking, lying, other negative behaviors. Can you touch on those things for our audience and kind of give us an idea how you approach those topics?
Yes, pretty much the whole the drug, the tobacco use, the lying. I talk about really the choices we make reflect our character too, and also the choices we make determine our tomorrow. So I challenge them. The choice we make, the right, the wrong, the positive, the negative, dream maker choices or dream breaker choices reflect what path we're on. And I challenge the students, I can't drive their life, or I tell them, their parents, they can't drive your life. We're trying to direct them and direct them in the right direction on this road of life. But at the end, they're the driver of their life. How? By the choices they make. So I challenge them when they leave the assembly. Our whole challenge is I want them to think, okay, am I making the right ones? Am I making the wrong choices? Because we've received tons of emails, letters, phone calls from kids saying, you know what, thank you so much for that message because you changed my life. I realized it was like the light bulb came on, and I realized the choice I was making was leading me away from my destiny, my purpose in life.
And I would suspect you probably share those testimonials from kids that you've affected in the past with the kids that you're talking to in the present.
Yes. There's one just last year. A student came up to me, and he was in a wheelchair, and the kid next to him was standing next to him, and the kid standing next to him was crying, bawling, and I said, I knew something was going on here, and I said, what's going on? And he said, he's the reason why he's in the wheelchair. I'm the reason why he's in that wheelchair. And they told me the story where that he was the one who's standing next to him, the young man standing next to the kid in the wheelchair was the bully, and he said, or he was the victim of being bullied. And he said one day he punched him in the face, and the bully went back, hit the end of the table, and paralyzed him for the rest of his life. And the reason why he came up to me crying, he said, because that sign that I have the students hold about the word respond, he said, tell my story in all the middle schools, tell my story in the schools, tell them to respond correctly because I took it I responded the wrong way. I should have walked away. Yes, I let my anger got the best of me, but I stood up, but I should have walked away. Now I have that guilty conscience for the rest of my life that he's in a wheelchair because of my response.
Well, it's great that you can find motivation from the people that you're trying to affect.
Yes, I've received bullets, emails in the mail from kids saying, you know what, I was going to kill myself, I was suicidal, I'm a cutter because I'm going through this pain, I'm going through this situation at home personally, but because of your message, you made me realize that I do have a purpose, I do have a destiny in life, no matter how I may be made fun of what I'm going through in life. Because one illustration I do use in the middle schools, high schools is I grab a $10 bill and I say, okay, who wants this $10 bill? All the kids are, I want it. Oh, and I'll say, okay, who wants it if I do this? And I'll spit on it. Who wants it now? I do. Okay, who wants it if I do this? And I put it on my armpit. Okay, who wants it now? All the kids scream, I want the money. And then I'll put it on the ground, step on it, pick it up. I'll stand there and I'll say, okay, who wants this money? Who wants this money? And I'll stand there until eventually someone comes forward and grabs the money. And I turn around and I use this illustration. I'm like, okay, why did you still want the money? Because like I spit on it, I put nasty smell on it. Why did you still want the money? Because it's money. And I'm like, yes, but it also has what? Value. No matter what I did to it, it still has value. No matter what you go through in life, here in middle school, high school, even throughout life, when you're 30, 40, 50 years old. Because there's good times, there's bad times of life. But never forget that you do have value. You never forget that you have purpose in life.
Well, geez, I feel better just listening to you.
No.
Now, I can't let you go without you demonstrating one of your feats of strength.
Yeah,
so what are you going to do for us today?
Well, I realize we live in an entertainment world, so if I went into the schools and said, hey, don't bully, don't make good choices, for 60 minutes, I'm going to lose them. So we live in an entertainment world, so I do feats of strength, breaking the baseball bat, ripping the phone book, because I realize if you get their attention, you get a message of hope and change in their lives. So here's an illustration I do is, I call this the book of bad choices. I challenge the students, okay, I ask them, who's made some bad choices? Lying, back talking, wrong choice at home, with their friends, Instagram, social media. Hey, every wrong choice that you and I have made in the past, it's in the book of bad choices. I'm gonna rip it, throw it away. Why? Because it represents your past. You can't change your yesterday, 2 weeks ago, what you did 2 years ago, but you know what? I challenge the students to make the right choice today. If they are making the wrong choices on the wrong path, let's recommit themselves and get back on the right path and be a dream maker in life. So,
let's see it.
All right, so here we go. So here's the book of bad choices, and here we go. Right here. I can't hear you scream. So,
oh, hey, let's do it. Come on. You can do it.
Here we go.
Unbelievable. Hey, fantastic.
I got a paper cut.
Oh, no. Mark, that was pretty impressive. Certainly appreciate you making the time to join us today.
Thank you.
Mark Wilkes, the man behind the proverbial cape. Mark travels throughout the country as a comic superhero, sharing his vision of a world without bullying and helping kids understand the importance of good choices at literally thousands of schools. For more information about Omegaman and Friends school assemblies and how to host your own anti-bullying and character-building school assembly, check them out on the web at OmegamanSchools.com or give them a call at 888-315-6772.